Hi guys, time for Be Inspired By, and last week was an interesting one. Let me tell you why. Normally we put up something like leopards or lions or Botswana, whatever inspires you as a destination, and it's very easy. You go dig into your images and you find the great ones and you stick them out there for everybody to admire. All fun and games, but now watch this. Last week I asked you to share on Be Inspired By your images inspired by high ISO. What the hell, you might think. The thing is this. A lot of the time when we photograph wildlife, it happens towards the end of the day or very early morning when the things we want to photograph are still active. Lions, leopards, take your pick. It all happens when the light is dropping. Now, social media, I think, personal rant coming on, has kind of pushed us in a direction that we don't put up all our images and our experiences, the real essence of photography, but rather just share the stuff that people will like, share and comment on. It's all wrong. So when I put up the Be Inspired By high ISO last week, normally they come in immediately. There's just posts flying all over the place. This one took a while to get going. I'm thinking to myself, wow, maybe people don't want to share their images because they're not top quality. And from the comments and stuff that came on with the images, it was the case, but, and it's a good but, everybody started sharing, which is phenomenal. And a lot of the cases, and I mentioned this in my blog post last week, is I would rather have an image of a great memory, of a great sighting that's a little bit grainy, rather than not take the image or share the image at all. Photography is about sharing moments, capturing a slice of time, and that's what we're trying to show. So, thank you to all of you that shared your images. Yes, they might have been a bit grainy. Yes, you might have done a little bit too much noise reduction in some cases, but it is still images of great sightings that you had, and that's what it's about. So, as with always, I'm going to look at 5 images that I've chosen randomly from the ones that was posted on the Facebook page as to why I chose them, and maybe we can learn something from them as we go. And then also I've got one from Marguerite, who specifically asked us to have a look at it, of an aardvark she took in Madikwe at a very high ISO, and if we can do something with it. Marguerite, yes we can, but no we can't. I'll tell you why when we're done with this. So, let's have a look at this. Our first image, one of my top 5 choices for this week, is from Himeka Pereira. This was apparently taken at 12,800 ISO. Ridiculous. In the old days I wouldn't even go past about 1.6 on my camera. Beautiful this though. Remembering, when you shoot high ISOs, your noise hides in dark areas. Now this image, great, because it doesn't show texture up close. We're not zoomed in to this cat to this level. It's beautifully presented, more of an animal in its environment type shot, which makes noise reduction afterwards a whole lot easier, especially on the dark backgrounds like this. Beautiful sighting, beautiful image, and for 12,800 ISO, very well pulled off. Next one here, this is from Stacy. Another, must have been a great sighting. Now, in Stacy's write-up, she tells us about this, and she says that she didn't actually notice her camera was on 5,000 ISO. I must be honest, I'm very guilty of this as well. Shooting into the evening, next morning you head out and you just carry on. But with Lightroom's noise reduction, you can save it quite a bit. And the processing on the face here does show that the shutter speed might have been a bit slow because there's a little bit of blur in the tongue area, but overall very nicely executed and well played. I would probably end up doing a little bit more of a brush just on the face, Stacey, if you're listening, to increase the noise reduction and the sharpening a little bit to get both of those, but otherwise very well photographed at a high ISO. Fred, what is Fred's one here? This was taken at 3,200 ISO. Oh, it's gone. Stand by one. Let me get it back. There we go. It was photographed at 3,200 ISO with the help of a little flashlight. Now, this is a good example, and a lot of the times the first question people ask is, what camera was that taken with? That's complete bullshit. That's not the first question you should ask. The first question you should ask is, does this image tell a story? And that is magnificent. This is a beautiful image, and at 3,200 ISO, very well processed. If we zoom in, which we shouldn't really do, but there's a little bit of graininess in the dark areas, but that's okay. It doesn't distract from the image. Don't over-process to try and get everything out. The leopard looks great, the tree branch in the front and the one in the background looks great. Very, very well played, Fred. Lovely image. Now this I quite like because it caught my attention immediately. Jason van der Merwe. This was shot at 3,200 ISO as well at the Ushaka Marine World in Durban. Beautiful abstract of jellyfish. The lighting is awesome, and shooting through the glass and with those kind of low blue type colors that we can see here, the ISO made the shutter speed fast enough to create this. Beautiful, beautiful image. Love this. Last one here, Renier Meyer. This is the kind of thing we're speaking about in the beginning, is You get into the bush, there's these beautiful things happening, but it normally happens, and the animals are active when the sun is coming up and coming down. You need to pay attention to your ISO. Rainier, I didn't write his down, but I think this was 3200 ISO as well. And in his text of the image, he mentioned that he couldn't push it anymore because otherwise it starts looking funny. Sorry, this is the noise reduction. Overall, very nice. I would, Rainier, if you're listening, I would take a special adjustment brush, add a little bit of clarity and a little bit of sharpening, and just brush the face area here. You might be able to pull a little bit more detail out of it. Other than that, lovely portrait of a difficult lighting situation. Very, very nicely played. So those are the 5 images that to me, well, stood out because of how they were taken, how they were processed, but everybody had great stuff to share. It's about, and a lot of you also mentioned that it's about the moment, and I wouldn't normally share this kind of image, but I enjoyed it. No but, this is what it's about. It's about sharing those moments. Lightroom is phenomenally strong in processing and getting rid of that noise. Use it. We'll do some noise reduction tutorials also coming up in the next while. So, thanks for sharing some great images. If you want to see more of those, go onto the Wild Eye Facebook page. It's all up there. Now, a very quick one. Marguerite asked me to have a look at this. Right, Aardvark taken at 1600 ISO, taken a Madikwe. Now, can we save this? Marguerite, not 100%, but let me tell you why. Because even though the ISO was quite high, let me just get this update thing out the way here, try an hour. Even though the ISO was high, the focus unfortunately hit these grass stems in the front. So my computer's going AWOL on me. Let me just find it. Okay, there we go. I'm back with you. Your focus was hit on the grass in front, which means the Aardvark is a little bit soft. We can, however, make this a little bit better. So a very quick one. I'm not going to do too much of the noise reduction and stuff on you. So let's just go 25, 25, sharpening a little bit over there. Where we can save this, and we're going to play with the basic adjustments, is let's create a first brush of there. I'm going to basically take the outside of this image, just lighten up the top part a bit. I've got my flow and density on. I've got a tutorial online. Go and check it out so it doesn't paint everything at once. I'm going to create another new brush, and I'm going to just lift this guy up a little bit, and another new brush which I'm going to underexpose slightly to anchor this, because it's very, very bright in the foreground here, which kind of allows my eye to escape off the page. So something like that, before and after. All we've done is we've balanced it out so it looks more neutral, but from a sharpness and noise reduction point of view, on this one, unfortunately, the focus hit that front part of the grass. Now, you were on our photography course a week or so ago. Focusing, important thing, because that's what you're going to have from a depth of field point of view to play with. Difficult shot. Look, I would save this because I've worked on Madikwe for 9 years. I've never seen one of these there. So, beautiful memory. Keep the shot somewhere for yourself. But unfortunately, it was a focus issue here, not a noise reduction issue. If you have any questions on that one, Marguerite, drop me a mail and we can go deeper into that. Right, that's about it for this week's Be Inspired By. Interesting topic, and thanks a lot for all the comments on it. It was great to see you guys sharing images that might not be perfect, but that had a memory attached. Again, that is the essence of why we do what we do. Anyway, watch the Wild Eye Facebook page and the blog on Thursday for this week's topic. If you have any interesting topics, by the way, drop us a note. Tell us what you would like to see, and we might just consider them. Anyway, my name is Gerry. This is the Photo Chat blog on Wild Eye. I will see you guys next time.